home at night for dinner. We've driven it. Distances in Europe were so much less than they are in the United States. We were kind of astounded.
But we didn't live what in the military we call on the economy. So as far as living in France as residents, we lived on the base. And didn't have a whole lot of contact with the French people, except if you would go into shopping or something like that.
But John did take the language.
No, but he went to the schools on the base, and so
But
that.
all of the children in the schools had to take French in the schools. And so when we go to town, John's mother and father had to have him as our interpreter.
That's right.
So he would speak to the shopkeepers, and we would purchase what we wanted to purchase.
And while we were there, the Cold War was going on, and so we had to have a footlocker. I had to have a footlocker ready to go because if something happened, Bob would be going off with the airplanes, and the children and I would have to maybe go somewhere else.
They called it the bug out, and she had to have the car loaded with gas. She and the children and her supplies would get in the car, and they would go to a port where the plan was that they would be boarded on a ship and brought back to the United States.
Before she went.
Because I was by whether we laugh and talk about it now because it's all over, but at the time it was pretty serious because they were all one-way missions. We were never coming back. We were going to go. We were kamikaze,
Wow.
basically.
Wow.
Because we didn't have enough fuel. Our targets were so far out into Russia and Poland that we didn't have enough fuel to get back to friendly territory.
But
You'd be stuck on a boat.
on the other hand, I feel very blessed to have been able to go over there and
To meet the people we did.
Meet the people we did. I felt completely at home in England, and we had some wonderful
English
neighbors,
friends, neighbors.
and because we lived in the town
in
England. In France, we didn't do that. But anyway, it was a great time. And yes, I would like to go back sometime.
About, I guess it's not doing it again this time, it's been on for 10 minutes. So how did you hear about Kairos, and why did you decide to get involved in it? And
We went to a program that was brought back from Spain called Cursillo in the Catholic Church, and then in the United States it was expanded to include Protestant churches with different names, and then the same program which we in the Methodist Church called Walk to Emmaus, the Episcopal Church called Cursillo, some churches called it Tres Dias, some churches called it Via de Cristo. It's a 3-day program. It's a short course in Christianity, and it gives people a better understanding of themselves and why they profess to be Christian. Lots of people say, "Oh yeah, I'm Christian," but they really don't know what that means to be a Christian, and they are not committed to it because they don't understand it. Then to get into the prisons in this country and around the world, which we are now, they had to adjust the program because we can't stay in the prison. We don't want to stay in the prison. So basically we go in at 7 o'clock in the morning and come out at 9 o'clock at night into a prison of all sorts. We go from max security to minimum security prisons. And we present this program. It's a 3-day program. And the recidivism rate after the program is about 20%. Before the program was introduced, the recidivism rate was about 80%. So it has impacted, and it has impacted the prison administration's problems within the prisons. The prison that we've been working in for the last 10 years has about 3 incidences amongst the prisoners per month. Most of the other prisons average up to 3 incidents a day. So you can see what
What kind of prison are you working in?
we're working in a maximum security right now. We're working with people who will, quite a few people who will never get out. They're there for life. And it's very rewarding to us.
Yes.
It makes us, it introduces us to people who had no foundation in theology, in everybody believes in humanity and in material things, but they don't understand spirituality. And we are spiritual. Whether there are the atheists who said, oh, that's a bunch of hooey. But when you get back, you know, where did that come from? Where did that come from? How did that start? They get back, they can take you so far back, and then all of a sudden they're up against the wall. That's as far as they can go.
Well, and we've seen, I truly believe we've seen lives changed. And
Oh, absolutely.
those men will be in there, and women
And
for the
women.
rest of their lives, but they're changed.
Millie has worked